Last time I saw a York peppermint patty.
Love them. They're one of my favorites.
candy.
Oh, it's one of my favorites, which is great because nobody else eats them. So you know what? More for me. More for me. Toothpaste is exactly what my husband says, by the way. He's like, pah, pah, pah. So it's not the candy. It's not the sugar this morning. It is what did I watch yesterday? What was that? On the show sheet this morning, our fantastic producer, Joshy DiMaggio, has the word interesting. It was an interesting game for the Green Bay Packers yesterday. Chew, is there a word that comes to mind for you about yesterday's 30-27 win?
Yeah, I nailed it.
What was that?
I nailed it.
I thought that's what you said, but since I have no idea how that could be possible, I thought
this
maybe
is
I
how
had
it's
misheard.
possible. The most important thing when it comes to a prediction is the margin of victory. Okay? So you got Smalls, 27-13. You got Evan, 37-21. Jen, you went 31-14. Aaron Rodgers, I don't know why he's on there.
That's Wally.
Nortman. All right, Wally. 35-21 Nortman. Gabe, 27-17. Ben, 30-17. Kyle, 31-17. Toad Boy, 31-14. And is that Dario?
That's
Jen?
Jim Rutledge.
And you skipped right over Molly, too.
31-17.
Molly's there in the middle.
Molly, Kyle, yeah.
So the closest was 7 points of margin of victory. I had it at 1, finishes at 3, so I win.
That's
I don't know how they determine this.
crazy math that you were working
I
on.
win.
Considering your prediction was 3-2.
There were 0 safeties in the game, Chew. 0 safeties. Like if
doesn't matter, margin of victory.
If there was 1 safety, no, you can't. What if I predicted 98-90? If I picked 98-96, 2 points, then that would have been better than yours.
Let me just sum this up very easily, Jen, because you're having trouble putting a bow on this game. This is like Gabe on the 17th hole, hitting a tree and knocking it to 2 feet of the pin, right? Now, it's fine as long as Gabe, when he goes in for a cold one with his buddies, doesn't talk about the 17th hole. As soon as he talks about it, he's in trouble.
It's a great birdie, Chew.
Okay? Don't talk about it. Move on. Detroit is next. It's fine. No pictures on the scorecard. A win's a win. That's how I look at it.
I don't understand why you guys are struggling with this. Like, to me, this is fantastic.
Really?
You had to play basically the entire second half. Jordan played, 2 plays?
Shouldn't have,
in the second.
probably.
Probably shouldn't have. You had to play the entire second half with your backup quarterback, and he engineered a game-winning field goal drive. Like,
that's
isn't that
fantastic.
Good? Like, being able to win a game with your backup quarterback in the NFL. Like, we were celebrating Malik Willis when he did this earlier in the season, but now we're going to hand ring?
I'm hand-wringing because of what's coming up next, which is the Detroit Lions, who put up 52 trick-or-treating with my kiddos yesterday. Went to a house of a fan who is a Detroit Lions fan, proudly wearing his Detroit Lions jersey. I go, you going to wear that next week? He goes, did you see the score? We put up 52 points. I go, we put up 52 points? He's like, well, they did. I said, okay, just making sure. Yeah, that's what I think gives me a little bit of pause, Gabe. And I know it's one game at a time. And I know it's we don't scoff at wins. Wins a win. That's good. You move on. They're 6-2, still in a really good spot in the division. But I am a little uncomfortable. Uncomfortable is the word I would say. Uneasy is the word I would say this morning. They won. Yes, I am still uneasy.
I mean, if Malik Willis has to play, things are going to be great, but we don't know what the results of the MRI for Jordan Love are yet. That's going to happen at some point today. Information either leaks out today or tomorrow, and we find out if Love can play. But I think Malik Willis to come in and make the throw that he made on a play that they had not practiced all week, on a play that he ended up checking to, that's awesome, really cool stuff for a backup quarterback to do.
I think we need Gabe's new nickname. Johnny Glass half full over here.
Ooh, Johnny.
Johnny Raincloud, man. Like, what are we doing?
Well, the rain has filled the glass is what has happened here. The rain has just kept filling the glass, and whoop, look at that. We're past half full.
But I think this defense is what it is. Okay?
Yeah.
Hafley cannot draw up magic week in and week out. Okay? He'll have 2 games where it's like, wow, that was creative, that was this. You can't do it every game. So this is what your defense is. No pass rush, pretty good, top 14 in the league. That's what it is. But there's all of a sudden not going to be a pass rush and be like, there's only so many creative blitzes you can come up with.
Yeah, I mean, guys have to win. Oh, yeah, 100%. Guys have to win one-on-one matchups, and Rashawn Gary can't be doing crossover dribble moves a la Myles Garrett last year and then just get completely stonewalled. Like, you can't be the cocky guy and then just get absolutely, like, not even sniff of pressure on the play in which you do that. Like, you just can't. You can't have 2 sacks through 8 games and be the cocky guy. Just can't.
I'm not worried. Even if they lose against Detroit, who cares? It's fine. Going to the bye week, you're okay.
Whoa, Gabe did the hard swallow. I saw it over here. I'm 6 feet away from him, and I saw the giant gulp.
It's not fine. I mean, to lose to the Lions and fall 2 games back in the division and pretty much lose, I mean, be trailing in a lot of different tiebreakers as well, even if you were to pull even with the Lions, because you'd lose the head-to-head, you'd be 0-2 in the division, and winning the division and getting a home game, I think, is just still so imperative in today's NFL. Winning 3 games against playoff teams is going to be hard, and I would prefer not to go that route.
Yeah, but look at the Ravens lose yesterday to the Browns with Jameis Winston. They're not panicking. They're like, come on, guys, are you kidding me? We can't do this. So this is kind of their game.
Yeah, but their division isn't as good as the Packers division.
Even if they get blown out next weekend because Love doesn't play, it's all going to be fine. All that matters is you start trending towards playing really good football and get hot at the right time.
Let me ask you this,
for the season, that's all I care about.
Let me ask you this, though. Are you concerned at all about Jordan Love's injuries so far this season, right? He has sort of evaded the injury bug throughout his career. Obviously, last year was the first full season of him under center as the starter. But now we are talking about he's already missed 2 games. He missed the second half of this game, could potentially miss. I know we're waiting for the MRI, but a groin injury and to miss the second half of the game doesn't feel like a great sign for the upcoming game. Are you concerned that the quarterback they paid all that money to is showing a little bit of injury proneness?
Not really. Didn't Aaron go through this early in his career? They were worried because you were just coming off of Brett, who had the, all-time consecutive games. I mean, I look at this as he goes down on the sidelines. It's clearly bothering him. I believe there's no way he could play this week, and I don't think you play him. Okay, because if he really aggravates it, because I did this. I came back from the hamstring and then blew it out even worse, and then I was out for 5-6 weeks. If they lose him for 6 weeks in this stretch because they bring him back too early against Detroit, that's trouble. So I wouldn't play him. I wouldn't.
Yeah, I mean...
and that's why I'm saying it's fine. It's fine.
It all depends upon the MRI, right? Like, it's all off of that. Like, I think it's if there is a high risk for a deeper aggravation, there's no chance you can run that risk and put him out there because of how much you need that lower body playing quarterback and just the torque. And that's how we kind of heard it, right? Just putting torque on the lower body, trying to make some of those throws that he makes on the move.
So, Chu, let's hear from Matt LaFleur, who talked about Jordan Love's injury yesterday after the win.
But obviously, high level of concern anytime a guy's in there, and he did it early in that first drive, and I think everybody could see him struggling to move around, and it got to a point where we didn't feel like, and he didn't feel like he could protect himself.
High level of concern. That's the part that made me go, uh-oh.
Groins are weird, though. Groins feel like different. Have you guys ever pulled a groin?
Yep.
Yeah.
They're weird. It's not like a hamstring. It's almost like a sliver. How you have a sliver you can't get out. I mean, it's fine, but it hurts and it's there.
Well, for me, because I pulled my groin last year, and again, not comparing myself to Jordan Love, a high-level elite athlete, but he has a groin, I have a groin, so go with it. And it wouldn't hurt all the time. Yeah. It would be fine. And then all of a sudden, I'd stand up and be like, whoa, and I'd have to, stretch it out, stretch it. It would grab me, exactly. It'd grab you. So then I would, walk a little bit, and my gait would be off, right, as I was favoring. And then, sort of like usual suspects at the end when he reveals he's Kaiser Sose, you even out the walk a little bit. But
spoiler alert, Jen. Come on now.
30-year-old movie, Gabe. I think it's okay.
Is it getting cold there?
No.
This morning?
In the morning, sure. Sun comes out. It's gorgeous. It's going to be in the 60s.
What time's the game on? What time's the game on Sunday?
3:25.
Okay.
So 4:25 your time.
Okay.
It'll get a little
Because
chilly
I
in the
wonder
second half once the sun goes down.
Yeah, because you kind of want that thing warm as opposed to cold.
Well, and that's the thing. So they were in Jacksonville yesterday. They kept talking about the temperature. It was like 82 degrees or something at game time.
Yeah.
You would have thought that would have sort of helped it out a little bit, but apparently not, because we lost Jordan, obviously, for the second half of that game. I am not dismissing what Gabe said, which is Malik Willis. Fantastic job. Hallelujah.
Yeah.
Really, really, really appreciate you growing and evolving as a quarterback, which he has. And we're going to talk this morning as well about Brian Gutekunst, who deserves all of the flowers, all of the accolades, all of the praise this morning, because it wasn't just Malik Willis who went in there and won the game for you, but McManus as well. And some of the other pieces that he has put together on this team who have been additions over the last 365 days who got that win yesterday for the Green Bay Packers too.
Can I ask you guys this? And Joshy, answer this objectively, please. Okay. Josh is in a bad mood today, so I should probably leave him alone. All right, you get a pass. If the Bears beat Washington yesterday, how would you rank the NFC North?
I think I'd probably, even if the Bears won, I'd probably keep it the way the standings are right now. Detroit, Green Bay, Minnesota, Chicago.
What, Gabe? All right, go to break. I got a headache already.
What?
Ribbit.
You said on Friday. On Friday, did you or did you not say now you can put the Packers ahead of Minnesota? Did you not say that? Did you not say that the last time we all got together on this little program?
You did.
Does consistency count on Mondays?
Does what?
What?
Consistency, is it on Mondays as well, too?
You're
the consistency guy. You're the one who wants consistency.
I know, and I said that. I'm rethinking it during the break.
Don't like it when I throw your words in your face.
800-990-3776. We are talking about the Green Bay Packers win this morning. And yes, it was a win. We don't scoff at wins. We take the wins. But there are parts of the win yesterday that made me feel uncomfortable, uneasy, headed into the Lions game this upcoming weekend. Your reaction all morning long. Lots of reaction rolling in on the ESPN Milwaukee talk and text line. Lots of reaction rolling in on the YouTube page as well. We will get to some of your thoughts right after this on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
It is a Victory Monday, and it's brought to you by Palermo's Pizza, Wisconsin's hometown pizza. I'll tell you what. Pizza, wins, they go together fantastic. With delicious brands like Palermo's, Connie's Urban Pie, Screamin' Sicilian, Palermo's as your game day covered. Find Palermo's in your local grocer's freezer.
Never miss out on a second of the show. Find Jen, Gabe, and Chewy on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you get your podcasts with Wisconsin On Demand. Sponsored by Celsius Essential Energy Drink.
Things still rolling along pretty well so far this morning. Just a little bit heavy westbound 94 as you're leaving the stadium interchange. Overall, we're looking pretty good around the rest of the system. Traffic is brought to you by Walker Media Agency. Power your brand with smart marketing, advertising, and IT solutions. Visit WMA2024.com to elevate your business today. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast today. Partly cloudy and breezy, a high of 66. Tonight, partly cloudy, isolated showers, very mild, windy with a low of 58. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
When you're high, you feel different. You think different, you talk different, you draw different, you listen to music different, but you probably knew that. Problem is, you also drive different, and not in a good way. That's why driving high is illegal everywhere. So if you're high, just don't drive. Make a plan to get a sober ride. Because if you feel different, you drive different. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Hey Milwaukee sports fans, it's Brad Nortman from Kyle Bruston Nortman. You've invested too much into that nice ride, so don't settle for a gas station car wash. Treat it to a Tsunami Express car wash. State-of-the-art wash technology, powerful free vacuums, and unlimited wash memberships. Now with 5 locations across Greater Milwaukee, Tsunami Express is your go-to spot for a flawless finish and a first-class car wash every time. Trust me, your car will thank you. Sign up for a membership online at TsunamiExpress.com and get your first wash free. Tsunami Express Car Wash. Wash, chill, repeat.
Check this out, the new iPhone 16 Pro built for Apple Intelligence. At Verizon, you can get it when you trade in any phone from one of their top brands.
Any?
Any.
Even if it's 4 years old?
Yeah.
Even if it's 4 years old and I drop it on the sidewalk?
Yep.
Even if it's 4 years old and I drop it on the sidewalk, then a scooter runs it over, so now it's not just old and cracked, but shattered?
With Verizon, the answer is always yes. Trade in any phone from one of our top brands for the new iPhone 16 Pro with Unlimited Ultimate. Plus, get a new iPad. Trade-in terms apply. See Verizon.com for details. Apple Intelligence coming fall 2024.
At the Home Depot, we know you can't control everything, like when your guests arrive too early for Saturday college football. But you can control your grill. With the Traeger Timberline XL, you can watch the game, not the grill. Monitor your football feast from anywhere using the Traeger app. With the Timberline XL, you can bake, smoke, sear, fry, and sauté. That's Desmond Howard level versatility.
Huddle up, the food's done.
Defend your game time with Traeger and the Home Depot. How doers get more done.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hi, I'm Dr. Peter Stahl, board-certified urologist and senior vice president of men's sexual health at HIMSS. In my 12 years of practice as a reproductive urologist, I've helped many guys with ED, and it has never been more convenient to treat than it is right now, thanks to HIMSS. It really wasn't easy before. You had to take time out of your day, come to a physical office, and see a specialist like me in person. Now, through HIMSS.com, you can get world-class sexual health care and a full range of treatment options for ED through a 100% online process. It starts with a free assessment from a medical provider licensed in your state who can determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. So don't wait. Join the hundreds of thousands of guys who've gotten help for their ED through HIMSS.
To start your free online visit and find ED treatment at up to 95% off brand name prices, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit.
It's Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
My father would always say, and there's a rhyme and a reason to it, he said, if you wear your rubbers in the house, you'll go blind. Do the two youngsters on the show here even know what rubbers are? I'm talking the ones that go over the shoes.
On 94.5 ESPN.
Guys, let's talk about something important. You. Taking care of your health and appearance isn't just about looking good. It's about feeling strong and confident and ready to take on the world. At Quintessa Aesthetic Center, they make it easy for you. With experts in advanced skincare, body contouring, and anti-aging treatments, Quintessa is here to help you stay sharp and look your best. Trust me, when you look good, you feel even better. So why wait? Visit myquintessa.com and take the first step towards a more confident you.
On 2nd and 6, fake to Jacobs. Uh-oh, he's got him. Willis to a wide open Jaden Reed.
Packers get the victory yesterday, and yet I'm a little uncomfortable today because the next game on the schedule is, of course, the Detroit Lions, who put up the big number yesterday in their win, and the Packers did not look good. Did they win the game? Yes, they did. But even Tucker Kraft afterwards said, we got to start taking accountability for what's going on with our offense early in the half. That's just not us. We've got to start holding each other more accountable. I haven't looked at the film yet, but there were errors by everyone on the field. What is with the slow starts, Gabe? What is with this offense not being able to take the field ready to play? Why does it seem like they need a warm-up quarter in order to start playing, good football?
Yeah, that's kind of been, a lot with Jordan Love this year, too. A lot of those interceptions, a lot of those turnovers he's had have come early in the games for whatever reason. He just can't get settled early in games. And then he has the interception, was it late first quarter or early second quarter, whenever it ended up happening. That kind of added to that, deep in their own, deep in the red zone. So I don't know. It's been an issue for Jordan Love all season long. It seems like the fast starts, the quickest starts that they've had were the games that Malik Willis was in at quarterback and they were running the ball. So I don't know if that has something to do with it, trying to get Josh Jacobs or Emmanuel Wilson going a little bit earlier in the game to kind of get you off to a faster start in the first quarter. But they have gotten off to slow starts all season long.
Yeah, Josh Jacobs kind of carrying this offense right now. Even last year, his yards weren't huge, but he had that one drive that he took over the previous week, and then this game just showed you how good he is. And I'm not opposed to this because I saw he was a little dinged up. He had an ankle at the end of the game. If Malik plays and Jordan's not, I wouldn't have a problem sitting Josh Jacobs. To keep him fresh.
Rest games? What are we doing here? With the bye the next week? So he's punting completely on the game against
Detroit?
Detroit?
What do they call it in basketball?
Load
management?
Load management.
Yeah, load management.
So again,
let me ask you this, Gabe. What is the line? If Malik Willis is the quarterback, what will the line be?
Probably
7?
Probably Detroit by 4.
You're crazy. Oh, my God. Your picker's way off, Gabe. They just smoked someone 52-0. Granted, Malik had a nice game, but now that he's got to play the whole game, and Detroit is pretty smart, they're pretty good defensively, they're going to say, all right, Malik, you got to beat us. Sorry. Josh, we love you, but you're getting 80 yards.
So right now, it opened at
the line would be
opened at 3.5, currently 4.5. So yeah, it's going to be. I think it's going to be right around there. That I think reflects Jordan not playing.
Really?
Yeah.
Even. All right. I thought it'd be higher than that.
No, the Vegas odds, the chart I send you every year, and you accuse Vegas of gushing about them, have them right in line with the Lions.
So, like, if Jordan was playing,
with
it'd be Packers
with
by
Jordan
3.
Love.
Yeah.
With Jordan Love.
If Jordan was playing, it'd be Packers by 3. So it's a 7.5-point swing without Jordan Love.
What was it against?
Which would make sense.
What was it against Minnesota when they played at home? Green Bay 2.5, was it?
The Packers at that point?
I think it was around 2.5.
I don't remember what the line was. 800-990-3776. Chew, question for you from JR in the car. Is it possible that the previous injury for Jordan Love may have caused this one? I remember Rodgers telling a story on McAfee about how he stopped taping his ankles and wearing braces because it would put more stress on the other parts, basically compensating. Could this be from the knee brace putting stress on the other muscles around it?
It could. Yeah, because they're all connected, but this might have been more, because I'm a big believer in dehydration is what causes pulls. So going into a warm place, not properly hydrated, maybe the knee brace caused them to do a little too much with that hip. So, yeah, I think it's possible.
Are you concerned at all about the mistakes that I mentioned at the top of the segment? That this, again, it takes them a little while to get warmed up. There were mistakes out there. Obviously, Jordan threw another interception. I don't know if you want to count that in the whole pile of mistakes. But are you concerned that this team? I think we've said they've only played one complete-ish game, right, Gabe? Didn't we think that they had played one, maybe? And that again is the caveat of they don't have a pass rush. There is no pass rush. So if you're looking for a pass rush, you got to go look elsewhere.
Yeah, I mean, last week would have been the closest that they had come to kind of that complete game, but they still had turnovers, right? There were still a couple of turnovers that kind of plagued them. So I don't know if they've played a really good complete game where you come out of it going, yep, here we go, let's roll.
No, I still think there's a part of the game was a letdown on their part. They just beat Houston, very good team, top 5 power rankings. Now they got Detroit. It's natural. You go down there, it's hot. It's hotter than you're used to. I think that.
But I mean,
it was kind of like what we thought. Go
ahead, Shu.
They just kept them in the game.
Yeah, that was
and
the
it's what they do. They don't step on the throat like the Rams game. All right, it's 10 points, but there's, it's not put away yet. Like this game should have been put away when Lawrence fumbled on the 5-yard line and then they scored.
Yeah, how many possessions did they not? Did they punt on? Let me go back and look at the box score.
Yeah, so it was 27-17. You got to close that game out. But that's where having 4, because now you know that they're going to throw, right? They're going to have to throw because there's only half of the fourth quarter left. They have to throw to get back into the game because they're down 2 possessions. That's where having that stud pass rusher that Rashawn Gary is supposed to be, that they were hoping Lucas Van Ness would be, being able to just pin your ears back with those 4, that's where you close out games. Like
that's where you close out game.
That's how you guys closed out Super Bowl 31. You guys got up by 14, and then Reggie had 3 sacks. Game over.
But you have to understand Hafley's thinking in that situation. He's calling a defense more of like, okay, let's just run this thing out, win by 7, and get the hell out of here, instead of like, all right, do I dial up some exotic blitzes here, and then I get toasted, and now it's a 3-point game because they scored in 40 seconds? He's just kind of like, let's run the clock out because I don't have a pass rush.
Exactly. That's why you need that pass rush, because you don't want to dial up the exotic blitzes there. That's where you need guys to step up. Kenny Clark, Lucas Van Ness, Rashawn Gary, Engabare, Smith. Somebody has to step up and get pressure. I mean, because in those last couple of possessions where they got the field goal and then the touchdown, Lawrence wasn't under that much pressure. He had a pretty clean pocket to work from.
No, he did. He had time.
So checking out
I can understand the thinking.
Checking out the play sheet, guys. We got a 6-play punt. We got a 3-play punt. We got the interception by Jordan Love. We got a 3-play touchdown. That was the first points on the board for either team. We got a 6-play field goal, a 10-play field goal, end of half. Then we have a 4-play punt. We have the touchdown. to make it 20-17 in the second half of the game. We got the touchdown to make it 27-17. And at that point, again, you should have been able to be like,
put it away.
Okay, this game, they're 10 points ahead. There's no reason why this should be uncomfortable. There's no reason why you should be uneasy. There's no reason why this should come down to the wire. But then they punted, and then they punted, and then they kicked the game-winning field goal. So too many possessions, it feels like, where they walked away with no points there against a team, guys, that was horrible, is terrible defensively. That's the other thing, right? You want to be able to take advantage of those types of opponents, take advantage of teams. We read the metrics. I think I read them multiple times last week. They were last or near last in all of the defensive categories. Jordan Love and company should have been licking their chops at putting up a big number, a Detroit Lions 52-point number against this team, and they kind of just were playing with their food all afternoon. Well, and that's where I feel.
The overall raw numbers aren't bad.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, at the end of the day, it looks good to see. Go ahead, Chu.
Third down efficiency is not good. 3 of 11 is not good. That's what keeps you on the field. 3 of 11 is not good. That's got to be more of 5 or 6 of.
I think
11.
It's important for us to remember that Jordan Love injury happened early, and then when Matt LaFleur was interviewed at halftime, he said Jordan Love basically can't move. And for the Packers to run their offense and Matt LaFleur to run their offense the way they want to, they need him to be able to be under center and be able to move around back there. So when they had to go all shotgun, they not only changed their game plan and what they had been preparing for all week, like the offense obviously stalled there. And then when Malik Willis comes in just absolutely cold, like, what are you going to do? Just start slinging the ball with them?
Yeah.
Like, they kind of were backed into a situation where it's like, I don't fault them for that bad of performance.
No, again, my frustration does not lie with the offense. No. It's 100% on the defense. 100%. You have to close that game out. You can't let them score on back-to-back possessions like they did at the end of the game and tie that thing up and put Malik Willis in the position where he has to engineer the game-winning drive. It's 100% the defense. And as excited as we've been with Hafley and all the good things that he's done, I mean, that's kind of the Packer defense of old, right? Like, play well until it's actually time to make the stops you need to put a game away, and you let a team back in. It's what they did last year against Carolina when the Panthers, they decided to make Bryce Young actually look like he was a competent NFL quarterback, and that's what they did yesterday. They made that offense for the Jacksonville Jaguars suddenly look like they belonged, and they've been an efficient team all season long.
Whenever you mention the Bryce Young game, I always think of the Tommy DeVito game as well, because that was another one where it felt like, all right, here we go. This is going to be a good one. Going to really show our dominance. And then, we all know how that ended. 800-990-3776, your reaction this morning. Your reaction this morning to the Packers' victory yesterday. And, of course, they won. So we're not trying to be too Debbie Downer this morning. We're not trying to, channel our own Johnny Raincloud. But there is concern about Jordan Love being available for the Detroit Lions. Chewy, it sounds like you're saying they should already punt on Love, go with Willis, create the game plan for Willis, and maybe you catch the Lions off guard because they don't know what to expect from him.
Anybody else dinged up that you want to sit, Chew? I mean, you've already decided that you're sitting. Jair kind of came up a little lame, couldn't really jump for that Ingram touchdown at the end, was kind of hobbling around there. Maybe sit Jair too. Anybody else you want to?
No, I'm good with Love.
Okay. And Jacobs. That's it.
Jacobs.
That's all you want to say.
But you don't think load management? You don't think he needs any? How many grabs did he have yesterday? I didn't even notice. I know he had 25. He had 25 carries. He didn't. Oh, he had one for -2.
Yeah, so 26 touches yesterday. But they've got the bye.
I just want him fresh. I want him fresh.
They've got the bye after, and that's if you don't play Jacobs, to me, you're just basically punting on the game. And
it's a little white flag.
Yeah, I just don't. That doesn't. Yeah,
but what if his ankle? What if his ankle's 90%? He was hobbling.
Yeah, if it's 90%, I mean, at this time of the season, isn't that kind of everybody? You got a little something that's only keeping you at 90% halfway through?
I would like all my players fresh.
Yeah, but it's the NFL. You got a game to play.
Yeah, Zach Tom, why don't you take the game off too?
Is it come at you Monday? Is that
there's one of us making absurd claims.
But also, you knew Joshy was in a bad mood.
Yeah.
You said it at the beginning of the show. So I'd just stay away from that cage this morning if I were you. You keep walking past him with a stick, dragging it along the metal, and you're wondering why he's fighting.
The bear?
Why does he keep coming up to the cage and roaring at me? I don't understand.
Hey, I got exciting news, everyone.
Oh, boy.
We are live on ESPN Madison, so hello to all our friends out there on ESPN Madison. They're having some technical difficulties. The only thing they can carry is this very program. So, welcome 100.5.
That's what it took. That's what it took for us to get on in Madison, for them to have literally zero other options. Dead air, Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, and I bet they had an internal debate.
T's and P's, Madison.
You know what?
T's and P's. We got to take a break. We'll be right back after this. Go ahead, Chew.
No, I'm back in 2X. You ever go to the zoo and you see the sign in front of the lion's cage that says lion sprays? I remember my kids always asking me, I'm like, well, he's got a hose back there with a thing. You never seen that sign?
I've seen
Meaning the lion will turn around and
Yes.
pee all over you.
We got it.
We just found out that Madison is listening to us, and that's what you wanted to go with?
That?
Yeah, he wants to make sure that Madison gets the true Jen, Gabe, and Chewy experience.
But Joshy is the lion.
Go to break.
Joshy is the lion of the group. Careful, Joshy sprays.
Me? I'm the issue.
Yep. All your fault. It is a Victory Monday here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. It's brought to you by Palermo's Pizza, Wisconsin's hometown pizza. Delicious brands like Palermo's, Connie's, Urban Pie, Screamin' Sicilian, and Palermo's. They've got your game day covered. Find Palermo's in your local grocer's freezer.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy continues next on 94.5 ESPN.
Things are moving along okay, a little bit heavy, leaving the stadium interchange to about Mitchell Boulevard on westbound 94. Eastbound slowing down from 84th Street to about 68th. Southbound 43 a little tight right past Hampton Avenue to Capitol Drive. And check the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast today. Partly cloudy, breezy, a high of 66 tonight. Partly cloudy, isolated showers, very mild, windy with a low of 58. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
They say seeing is believing. And when you see what's inside at American Place Casino, you better believe you're gonna love it. Because when it comes to amazing gaming, we're a real game changer. With the most exciting of table games like blackjack, craps, and roulette, the newest slots, a sportsbook, restaurants, bars, and more. So if you're ready for excitement, we'll see you soon. American Place Casino. Change the game.
Must be 21 years of age or older. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, crisis counseling and referral services can be accessed by calling 1-800-GAMBLER, 1-800-426-2537.
This political season, you'll hear a lot of noise. But this November, Walker Media Agency has the expertise and team to improve your marketing, advertising, and IT. Start at WMA2024.com. Paid for by Matt Walker and Walker Media Agency.
America's happiest jewelry store is coming to Kenosha.
And our grand opening celebration will be November 1st and 2nd.
Just off Highway 50 at exit 344.
Kessler's Diamonds is America's largest employee-owned jewelry company.
And because we own the company, we can do anything we want.
Here's what we've decided to do.
We're going to give away 2 big diamonds.
A 3/4 carat natural diamond.
And a 2-carat newborn created diamond.
Who gives away diamonds? We do.
Have snacks and refreshments.
And spin our wheel of sparkle for spectacular prizes.
Do we know how to celebrate or what?
The first 81 people to arrive each day will be given a special gift.
81 is our special number.
The Kessler 81 is a magical diamond that explodes with light.
You've got to see it to believe it.
And everyone will get 0% interest for 18 months with approved credit.
Come to Kessler's.
Friday, November 1st and Saturday the 2nd.
Just off Highway 50 at exit 344.
KesslersDiamonds.com.
Are you looking for a reliable ride? I've got you covered. It's ESPN Milwaukee's Jen Latta. I use AccuTrans Group for my private transportation needs during the college football season. AccuTrans is a veteran-owned business dedicated to providing unmatched corporate, personal, and event-related transportation that you will use again and again. From corporate travel and weddings to group events, AccuTrans Group caters to every occasion. Booking is easy, safe, and dependable. Visit AccuTransGroup.com to get a quote or to book a reservation today for reliable and safe transportation.
With a local Milwaukee team, Fifth Third Bank knows what success looks like. They've been serving businesses and individuals in the area for nearly 15 years, including a long-standing commitment to the healthcare industry. From expansion to treasury management, Fifth Third offers a full suite of financial services and solutions across the healthcare spectrum to meet the complex moments you're navigating. Fifth Third Bank, National Association. Custom solutions built around your goals. Member FDIC.
You're listening to Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
You called them a white stiff earlier.
From one white stiff to another? I'm pretty well versed in the realm of stiffs.
On 94.5 ESPN.
Whether you're a local who wants to enjoy a night out or you are visiting the great city of Milwaukee, you can enjoy an artfully stylish experience at St. Kate the Arts Hotel. It is ideally located in the heart of the theater district in downtown Milwaukee. Deluxe accommodations, culinary creativity, live music nightly. You will enjoy every element of your stay at St. Kate. Learn more and book your stay at stkatearts.com. That's stkatearts.com.
Focus on protecting that ball, and that time just got away from him, and it sets up the Packers. Second and goal. Touchdown. Tucker Kraft.
So there have been a lot of weeks, guys, where in the ESPN Milwaukee talk and text line, 800-990-3776, if you want to get in on the show, where people have said, well, Rashawn Gary and Lucas Van Ness and those types of things, because they are underperforming, Goody has not done his job. Goody is squarely to blame. He is in the crosshairs for those guys underperforming, and he has not done his job as general manager of the Green Bay Packers to put this team in a position to win long-term, to be a championship-caliber team. And I got to tell you, a game like yesterday, even a game like the Texans, you could make the argument, show that Goody has done a lot of good things. I mean, does anyone remember Sean Clifford? Does anyone remember Michael Pratt? They weren't good enough. So Goody went out, shook things up, and got Malik Willis, who was a big reason why they won. In the offseason, he went out, got Josh Jacobs, a big reason why they won. He went out and said, our kicker situation is not good enough, even though we've made moves, even though we have erred in our talent evaluation on Anders Carlson, who, by the way, seems to be doing just fine with the 49ers. Fine.
Maybe they erred
just
again.
Just fine with the
Made
49ers.
another mistake.
But besides that, McManus goes out there, kicks another game-winning field goal. It's a tough day, isn't it, Chew, for all those people out there who hate Brian Gutekunst?
Yes, they're not very consistent. Look, no GM's gonna. Am I right?
I just love you and consistency, man.
No GM's gonna hit them all, and I would say he hits more than he hasn't. Yes. I mean, he drafted two DNs in the first round, and they really haven't panned out. I'll go back to what we were trying to sell last week. I think if you go and get one of these top-notch defensive ends, they could jump to the best team in the NFC.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you're going to have to pay the price. You're going to have to pay it with the salary cap and draft picks. But, I mean, you're in it right now. Your window's open. So I don't have a problem mortgaging the future.
I've got a question.
Especially when you're talking 28 through 32nd pick in the draft, because that's where we anticipate them landing. What's your question, Joshy?
What's the Packers' record without Xavier McKinney, Josh Jacobs, Brandon McManus,
Malik Willis?
And Malik Willis, yeah. Are they a 2-win team?
Without those, I mean, maybe 3. Maybe you still
either
beat
way,
the Titans.
The point still stands.
Yeah, maybe you beat the Titans. Feel good about beating the Rams and beating the Cardinals.
Yeah, how many of those guys were on the team in January?
See, hold on. Let's go back to consistency.
Oh, here we go.
Because that was equally as stupid as my players taking. Why do I get roasted for bringing up the fact that we should rest these players? Joshy doesn't even want them on the team.
I think you misunderstood. There's been a miscommunication here. Let me get to what I really want to say here, because I feel like I'm going to get swallowed up by the great whale over
Without
here.
those guys, the Packers would not be very good, is Josh's point. And he wants to give Gutekunst his flowers.
So stay with me on this. We talk about Brian Gutekunst potentially going out and getting a Max Crosby to kind of shore up that defense. We talk about Brian Gutekunst potentially going out and getting a Myles Garrett to shore up that defense. Is it a pipe dream by Jen, Gabe, and Chewy? Possibly, but stay with me on this. No matter what he does, if he goes out and makes a big splash acquisition or stands pat, has he earned the benefit of the doubt? Based on the moves exclusively over the last 365, Gabe, can you give Brian Gutekunst the benefit of the doubt no matter what he decides to do at the trade deadline this year?
Yeah, look, because I don't think that there's not going to be an elite pass rusher available, right? Maybe Zadarius Smith becomes available, although
and
the
we
Browns
are out on that, right? We're all out to make sure.
I think he's out on us. We're out on him. It's mutual. It's fine. We've moved on.
Jesse Winkerus.
Yes, exactly. Yes.
You hate us. We hate you.
It's just a nice we can shake hands in the middle, meet in the middle there. But there's not going to be someone available. And the Raiders have already said, we're not trading Max Crosby now. We're not trading Max Crosby in the future. Just forget about it. And again, guys like that, guys like Myles Garrett just don't become available. If the Browns, for some reason, decide to make him available and the Packers aren't in on those conversations, that would be disappointing. That would be very disappointing. But yeah, because again, it's the same thing kind of with Ron Chu, where maybe the first-round pick record isn't fantastic. But take a look at what they've been able to do in the second and third rounds, man. The last couple of third rounds, after that being the big hamstring of Brian Gutekunst, where we would joke trade the third-round pick because it's been so bad. Yeah. They've been able to hit and get some big-time contributors out of the last couple of drafts from day 2 picks, and that's how you make up for maybe not nailing a Jordan Morgan, who maybe ends up being okay, but he's been beat up, hasn't played as well as Sean Ryan at right guard this year. And Lucas Van Ness. It's how you overcome that with guys like Edgerrin Cooper, like the 2 safeties they were able to pick up this year. That's how you kind of make up for that lost time.
They got a gauntlet here, though, Gabe. This is going to tell us a lot because there's one layup game left. And that's the Saints. Other than that, this stretch to the end of the year,
it's tough.
Is pretty brutal. So they have to get hot, I would say, Seattle. We got to see, okay, this is definitely a top-notch team. I'll give them till then.
Yeah.
And this isn't a top-notch team right now?
No, I'm saying I don't want them playing the top of their game right now. I would say by Seattle, I want them trending to
that's the
all right,
start
this
of,
is,
hey,
even
let's
if
get
it's
this thing rolling.
Yeah, even if they're going to be a wild card team and not win the division, I'll be like, you know what? Defense is playing good enough because I don't think they're going to play great. They're not going to be a great defense just because of those front 4. Now, Hafley will hit 2 or 3 games. Like last week, we're like, oh, we have the guru now. He can't do that every week. So he's going to hit 2 games where he's going to outcoach the other guy. It's going to be up to the offense to score consistently 30 points a game, 31 points a game to win.
But that gauntlet,
especially when you start playing good teams.
That gauntlet is also a big reason why I guess I'm excited that they won yesterday. Because if that somehow goes the other way, if Lawrence doesn't fumble, if one break doesn't go the Packers' way and that becomes a loss, this Lions game, you're not sitting there going, if they lose to the Lions, it's fine. Right? Because, there's a huge difference between 6-3 if they lose to Detroit than 5-4 if they would have lost yesterday and lose to Detroit. So that's why I'm super excited about yesterday, because winning that and sitting there at 6-2, being just one game in the loss column behind Detroit for the standings, that gives you a little bit more of that margin for error during the gauntlet that's about to come up.
Yeah, the thing that scares me is if they do lose to the Lions, they get the bye and then they go to Chicago. This is going to be Chicago's Super Bowl.
It's their first divisional game.
Would you agree?
That's going to be their first divisional game for Chicago.
Because before the Bears get to the Packers, they have the Cardinals, which they should win, and then they have the Patriots. So they're going to be riding high. Even though they peed down their leg yesterday with that game, that's going to be their Super Bowl. So if they lose 2 in a row, I'm with you.
Folks weighing in on the ESPN Milwaukee talking text line, guys, talking about the Brian Gutekunst moves. Ryan from Milwaukee says Goody never makes in-season moves except for trading away Rasul Douglas. Yes, we had talked about that, how we sort of maybe wished. But by the way, what did they get for Rasul Douglas? Has that been turned into actual people at this point?
It was a third-round pick last year.
And so who was it? One of the third-round picks?
One of the third rounds this year,
Can't nail down who it was exactly. Yeah. I always like those sliding door moments of there are people who said he shouldn't have done that, shouldn't have traded away Rasul, so then it's always good to see what he ended up getting in exchange. Chef Ed reminding us he brought in McKinney and drafted young talent like Cooper and Williams. I know we mentioned McKinney, but yes, the draft talent as well. And who was the young guy? Who was Chris Brooks? I was unfamiliar with Chris Brooks' work, but obviously he was in late in that game and had the play where he had a straight shot to the end zone and decided to go down so that the Packers could run out the clock, win the game on the final play, rather than giving the Jaguars the ball back and any sort of chance to do what they did in Washington last night against the Bears. So Williams, again, making an impact, another young piece that, where did we get him from?
He was
Dolphins?
Yeah, I believe he was on the Dolphins practice squad. I think that would have been his first career touchdown that he went down at the 1-yard line on.
No, smart. Situational coaching. He knew before he even got the ball.
I think that's why he was in the game, too, because they were sending some guy in and they were saying, hey, don't go in. They're going to try and let you go and fall.
Tyron Hopper is the pick that they got from Buffalo.
Okay. Still,
solid.
Jury's still out on how, long term that's going to be. But yeah, so far so good.
I still have a feeling, where I didn't have a feeling this week that it was going to be a trap game and they were going to lose? I have a feeling that they're going to do something to get a D end. I mean,
Really?
It's staring you right in the face, isn't it?
But
it's looking right at you.
But who's out there?
It's like a blower.
Besides what we said,
on your kid's
Za'Darius.
forehead,
There's no way.
A blower on his forehead? Is that some sort of kink?
A blower. No, a zit that you just can't keep your eyes off of. I mean, everyone's staring at the zit. It's the D line.
We call zits
right?
blowers.
We don't.
Apparently we do.
In fact, I'm going through my Chewy Rolodex. I believe you call zits zangers.
Yes, yeah. But a blower is the worst.
Well, depends.
I mean, it's hard to eat when your kid has a blower on its forehead and it's winking at you.
He knows what he's doing. That's the thing. I want to sit here and be like, oh, it's so cute. The ignorance, the disconnect.
Do we ask the follow-up question or just let it go?
Let it go.
No, it happened. You know it happened. I felt bad about it after. It just told him to look away a little bit while I eat.
Yeah, no, I know that follow-up. I was going to ask why a blower.
Because they paint mirrors. Come on, let's not act like we've never had a blower.
Oh, I'm sorry. You've used the word blower 17 times in this segment. Now you're going to accuse us of being ignorant?
Clearly it's the term I've used many times before, Jen. This is your fault for not understanding why it's a blower.
Good grief.
It's a Monday.
Happy Monday.
Welcome, Madison.
I just was going to say the same thing. Great to have you. Good to see you, Carl.
Ditch the random channel surfing with your remote. Grab your phone and open the ESPN app. Their new Where to Watch feature is a game changer. With so many games going on, the ESPN app is your answer for what channel, what app, or what stream you need to get to. Want to know where the Bucks are tipping off on a Thursday night? Boom, ESPN app. Need the channel for Sunday's green and gold games? You already know the answer. It's the ESPN app's Where to Watch tab. Say goodbye to frustration and hello to watching sports. Download the ESPN app from your app store and find the Where to Watch TV icon.
More Jen, Gabe, and Chewy coming up on 94.5 ESPN.
At Great Midwest Bank, we've been serving Southeast Wisconsin homeowners for nearly 90 years. Wait. 2024 minus 1935, 89 years. Wow. In our 89 years as a community bank, we've learned a lot about the values of the people who live and work here and appreciate the loyal customers that have made Great Midwest Bank who we are today. Find a location at greatmidwestbank.com. Great Midwest Bank, your simply local, equal housing lender and member FDIC.
Texting enrolls you into recurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, how you doing? Haven't seen you around the gym for a while.
Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could be lower testosterone.
Lower T?
Yeah, I went through it a while back. Once you hit 40, your body has less free testosterone. I got Nugenix Total T, and it's made a huge difference for me.
I've seen that ad on TV. Is it for real?
Oh, yeah. The key ingredient is something called Tesnor, which helps boost free and total testosterone levels to help you trim up and stay lean.
And it's made a difference for you?
Man, I feel like I'm in my 20s again, at work, in the gym, and in the bedroom.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try it for themselves?
Yeah, you just need to send them a text.
Text BREAK to 321-321 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T, the #1 selling testosterone booster at GNC. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, to help you get back into shape fast. Absolutely free. Text BREAK to 321-321. That's BREAK to 321-321.
Attention football fans, the season's heating up, and that means it's time for jaw-dropping plays, spectacular touchdowns, and memories that'll last a lifetime. So if you're looking to grab the best seats for all the excitement, Vivid Seats is your go-to playmaker. With an incredible selection of tickets and a game-changing rewards program, Vivid Seats is your ticket to every thrilling moment. Don't miss out. Experience it live with Vivid Seats, the official ticketing partner of ESPN.
This college football moment is brought to you by ServPro.
College football teams have moments they recovered from and made it like it never even happened. For instance, TCU walked into the locker room at halftime in the 2016 Alamo Bowl, down 31-0. The Horned Frogs stormed into the second half and erased a 31-point deficit to force overtime, and eventually won it in the third overtime, 47-41.
ServPro, like it never even happened.
Hey sports fans, looking to level up your next private event? V Private Bar Services is your game changer. Move beyond the ordinary. V Private Bar Services crafts custom cocktails tailored to your brand and your guests' taste. Imagine a bar experience that's as unique as your business. Our expert mixologists will create a memorable experience that your clients and team will rave about. From signature cocktails to full-service bars, we've got you covered. Be the MVP of your next event. Visit vprivatebar.com/MVP to book today.
For your next night out, make Aria, the acclaimed restaurant inside St. Kate the Arts Hotel, your dinner destination. Aria, nestled on the second floor of St. Kate, is an artful dining experience that captivates with its culinary creativity. Delighting in its offering of artisanal American cuisine, the restaurant transcends tradition and leans into the realm of playful and inventive flavors. Come and experience the magic of Aria, where every bite is a work of culinary artistry. Learn more and make reservations at aria@stkate.com.
A standout performance.
Love to the end zone. Watson spins his way for the touchdown.
A player who energized the team.
He goes to the air. It's intercepted. Jair Alexander high-stepping for 6.
It's time for the current electric superhero MVP of the game on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
He's put it in the air this time. It is through there to Wicks and a touchdown.
Whether it's as small as a switch repair or as big as a whole home rewiring or even a generator to keep your lights on, call the superheroes from Current Electric. Go to callcurrent.com.
Now hands it off. Jacobs comes to the outside. Josh Jacobs inside the 20, the 10, to the end zone. Touchdown. His second today. Takes it in from 38 yards out.
Packers needed him, and he came through. 25 carries, 127 yards in his first multi-touchdown game. Josh Jacobs is our hero of the game for the Green Bay Packers, brought to you by Current Electric. Again, I mean, the Packers needed him to step up when they had, Jordan Love go down, and he was able to deliver in that second half, including that 38-yard touchdown run, which is his longest of the season. I don't know why. I guess I get why Bill Barnwell, I read the whole article, why he considered him a disappointment. Like, yeah, if I'm comparing him to Derrick Henry, sure, he's a disappointment. But Derrick Henry's also a Hall of Famer who's doing things that, you don't expect a back at his age to be able to do. I don't know about the rest of you. I have not at all been disappointed with Josh Jacobs because he has been huge for the Packers when they have needed him this season.
I felt similarly, and I wondered if it was because I was having a little bit of hometown, like, oh, he's our guy, so you overlook perceived flaws or, deficiencies. But I haven't seen that. That's why, Chew, I sent you the article that Bill Barnwell wrote about Josh Jacobs being disappointing. He's been below average in Green Bay, according to ESPN.com's Bill Barnwell. Maybe he was looking at the money, but if you look at the money, and he even details it in the article, Gabe. He says, the deal is officially 4 years, $48 million, but actually, it's just like the 1 year, tryout, essentially. So, Chew, were you surprised that there was a perception that Josh Jacobs has not fulfilled his end of the bargain for the Packers?
I think he has. I mean, he's not the receiver that Aaron Jones is, but I think he's a much stronger, harder rusher, more of a battering ram. I don't know where Barnwell's coming.
Well, again, because you're comparing him to Derrick Henry and Saquon Barkley, the other two backs who were free agents. And yes, those two guys lead the league in rushing. Jacobs is fourth. Like he's fourth in the league.
Carries left. If I'm disappointed in anything, I'm disappointed with his usage. That the Packers haven't used him enough, and like the east to west stuff that they do with him, where I know you're trying to keep the defense honest there, but just run him at people. He's so clearly better downhill.
Although that was a sweet little juke movie he had yesterday. That was pretty sweet.
I don't know how a guy can look like he has no wiggle and then bust out the most wiggle you've ever seen and seemingly like back-to-back plays.
You just have to be patient with him.
Yeah.
You know? And feed him, because he's going to get his 2 yards as one, and then he's gonna bust one like he did yesterday for 38. It's more being patient, sticking with the run, which he did yesterday. Look, if Josh Jacobs was just meh yesterday, they probably don't win that game.
Correct, 100%.
You know?
And I think there's a lot to be said, Chu, for the attitude, right? We have talked about this with the offensive pieces, and not everybody's going to get their touches. Not everybody's going to get the targets every single week because you have so many options. A guy like Josh Jacobs comes over expecting to be a bell cow for this offense and maybe isn't getting as many carries as he thought he would. His attitude could suck. He could be a cancer. He could be a toxic presence in that locker room and then start affecting all of those younger players negatively. But he never did. And I feel like that's the thing that Bill Barnwell isn't really putting a metric on when he writes an article like he has underwhelmed in Green Bay. Nah, man, that's a guy who went in there, may not be getting all of the production he thought he was going to be getting with this offense, and still hasn't let it affect the way he presents himself to that locker room. That, to me, is something you can't measure. You can't put a price on that.
He's fourth in the league in rushing.
Yeah, I know.
Can I accuse Barnwell of not knowing ball?
Ooh.
I mean, you can. I don't know if I'll support you in that.
Well, he missed
your back.
one, that's for sure.
Oh, now you got his back? Huh? You spent the last few segments dragging the stick along the cage, trying to taunt the lion, and now you've got his back?
Joshy sprays, be careful.
You're Mr. Consistency over here. Now you're waffling all over the place.
I think I've been pretty consistent for a Monday.
No, we graded consistency on a curve.
Oh, yeah, that's on you.
That's why I'm here.
That's on you. You should have known that, Josh.
That sounds like a great T-shirt, by the way. Grading consistency on a curve. We'll be right back after this.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy are back after this on 94.5 ESPN.
An accident on 94 eastbound, just about at Hawley Road, off on the left shoulder. So just watch out for that. We've got delays basically back to 92nd Street, all the way past that, all the way to about 35th. The westbound side slowing from about 25th Street out to Mitchell Boulevard. Southbound 43, going to be a heavy ride heading down from Hampton Avenue down past Capitol Drive. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast today, partly cloudy, breezy, a high of 66 tonight. Partly cloudy, isolated showers, very mild, windy with a low of 58. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Hey ESPN Milwaukee fans, Gary Ellison here from my friends at Best Electric Service, an A-plus Better Business Bureau family-owned and operated who have been serving you for over 50 years. No job is too big or too small, whether it's making electrical panel upgrades, home electrical safety inspections, electrical vehicle charging, and all residential service calls. Best Electric provides quality services at fair prices. They are experienced and licensed electrical contractors ready to get to work. Connect with the Best Electric Service. Find out more at bestelect.com.
Guys, let's be honest. We like simple stuff, like sports 7 days a week. We like things uncomplicated, like Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men in Oak Creek on Howell Road, just south of Putes Road. Walk in anytime, 7 days a week, even Sundays. Lady Jane's, it's wicked awesome.
Stay up to date on the green and gold all season. The Green and Gold Fix podcast is brought to you by Potawatomi Casino Hotel. Luxury stay, elite play, unwind in sophisticated comfort. Win big, dine, and experience the events in Milwaukee.
Marquette Hall of Famer Tony Smith here. You're listening to the home of Marquette basketball. 94.5 ESPN is WKTI and WKTI HD Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station. Showtime. The right way to start your day. This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
First and goal from the Jaguars 3. Two tight ends. Here is Jacobs up the middle for a Packers touchdown. Now hands it off. Jacobs cuts to the outside. Josh Jacobs inside the 20, the 10, to the end zone. Touchdown. His second today. Takes it in from 38 yards out.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Focus on protecting that ball, and that time just got away from him, and it sets up the Packers.
Second and goal. Touchdown. Tucker Kraft. On 2nd and 6. Fake to Jacobs.
Uh-oh, he's got him.
Willis to a wide open Jaden Reed. McManus for the second straight week. A Green Bay Packers game-winning field goal.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Now live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studios with Gabe Neitzel and Mark Chamorro. Here's Jen Latta.
Breaking down the Packers' 30-27 victory over the Jacksonville Jaguars all morning long here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, 6-2. And Josh, you brought up a great question earlier as we were kind of trying to give the accolades and flowers and credit to Brian Gutekunst. What would this team's record be without Malik Willis, who stepped in yesterday in relief of Jordan Love, who left with the groin injury? Without McManus, who is their new kicker after they went through Anders Carlson and Narveson. It's Braden Narveson and Brandon McManus. It's Braden Narveson and Brandon McManus. I always want to interchange.
Just call him the Narv Dog.
I feel like you have to earn Narv Dog. I feel
but
like
it's a different type of dog. He's not the Narv Dog. He was the Narv Dog.
Oh, like bad dog.
Yeah.
Smacking with the
How long have
newspaper.
the field goals been? Those are walk in the park field goals, though.
But they
I mean,
weren't.
yesterday was what, an extra point?
100%, but they weren't walk in the park field goals for the previous guys. That's the issue. That was the issue.
Yesterday would have been,
Nobody in the NFL has missed as many 40-yard kicks as Braden Narveson.
He hasn't kicked in a couple weeks either.
Yeah, correct.
But again, what was Carlson's line yesterday? I know he hit 2 field goals, and then I went to bed.
50-yarders.
Yeah, it was. He looked pretty good doing it too. Like there's just no issues. Just this guy looks like this guy might just be good.
Clutch is like. Just kick. I don't have a better sound effect than that. That's what I have for the field goals. If you can come up with one, send it in. 800-990-3776. Go ahead, Shu.
Doink.
No, they weren't doinks. They were. Anyway, we move on. But... Josh's question was, what do you think the Packers' record would be without Willis, without McManus, without McKinney, who he got obviously this offseason, and without Josh Jacobs? Those are 4 home runs, it feels. Again, early on the kicker, but we think based on his track record and based on what he has done in the most pressurized situations, game winning, that he's going to be pretty good for the Green Bay Packers. It feels like, if nothing else, home run, triple, double. Like, do you feel pretty good about those?
Those are hits. They're all hits for sure, without a doubt. Yeah, I think they're without those players and with what has happened with the injuries to Jordan Love and all those things, probably a 2 or 3 win team.
Yeah, but all right, take Josh Jacobs. If we didn't have Josh Jacobs, you'd have Aaron Jones, who's having a pretty good year himself. So the gap there isn't that much.
If Jones was willing to take the pay cut.
I don't think they probably would have had to come up.
The math probably changed, though, and they probably offer more if they couldn't get Jacobs, right?
Yeah. Now, a kicker, I mean, what was the field goal? Who'd they play before Jacksonville?
The Texans.
Signature win, remember?
45.
And how long was that?
45.
Okay. So they probably split there with the kicker, I would hope.
Yeah, If you're trying
now, made yesterday's
the Narv Dog to kick a 45-game winner against the Texans, do I think he's making it? No, I do not think he is making it.
So who's been more impactful, McKinney or Josh Jacobs?
Malik Willis is the answer to that question.
I think it's I lean towards Jacobs just because it's more of an offensive than a defensive.
Ooh, I lean towards McKinney because of how bad the front four have been. He's cleaned up a lot of mistakes that the defense, not mistakes, but just like inefficiencies of the defense.
But he also had an interception yesterday, and the game was still 27-27.
But sort of canceled out Jordan's interception, if we're being honest. Came right afterwards. Cleaned up that mess, didn't
I think
it?
Clifford, the big red dog beats Tennessee, probably doesn't beat the Colts.
Yeah.
So there's
What?
one win. Yeah.
The Big Red Dog beats Tennessee.
No, Texas. Texas? Tennessee.
Tennessee.
Oh, okay,
Tennessee.
I was picturing the Texas.
Yeah, but-
but Jordan played against Texas.
You sure?
Yeah, but Malik's numbers weren't huge against Tennessee. That was more of the defense getting it done than anything.
They brought in a
So
guy who was cast off a seventh conditional, and they thought so lowly of Sean Clifford, they moved on from him. That's how bad they thought he was. That Malik Willis, who we knew nothing about, was an upgrade.
Well, and what we knew about Malik Willis was not
correct.
Great. It was not a strong endorsement.
Data points weren't strong.
I guarantee you Sean Clifford turns the ball over more than Malik Willis has. That's simply a fact. That has been his MO.
Yeah, like you're not getting the
idiot?
run. You're not getting the 40-yard run that you got yesterday.
Who was the idiot that said
excuse me.
Who was the idiot that said he can't play football? Because they're clearly idiots. Because the guy can't play football.
It wasn't
Just goes to
one
show you-
idiot. It was pretty universal.
It was a consensus.
Yeah, it
Really?
was like
But it shows you
scouts,
the difference.
Teammates.
If Malik Willis tells you anything with his play, it's the difference between bad coaches and good coaches.
Is it that
That's all
simple?
that is.
I think,
Yes, it is that simple.
I got to be honest with you. I
Yes.
think change of scenery is woefully undercredited on these types of things. You know, like you get a reputation, people see you one certain way. No matter what you do, you cannot change their opinion, and they coach you accordingly. I mean, I don't want to use Carlson as the example, but we were watching what Carlson is doing with the 49ers. Is that bad coaching in Green Bay and good coaching in San Francisco?
Well,
or was it as simple as guy was good, he had potential, he got sort of labeled as unable to do his job in Green Bay, change of scenery, goes over there, fresh start, clean slate, and now he's doing well?
Well, I can tell you this, and I watched, a handful of the game yesterday. Chicago doesn't know how to develop quarterbacks. For the past how many years, they don't know how to develop quarterbacks. See, I can tell you this, Jaden Daniels is better than Caleb Williams. If you watch that game yesterday, he made more impactful throws. He processes, I think, better right now. Now, I know they're both rookies, but I don't know. But Caleb Williams looked horrible yesterday.
You're not going to get any single person on this panel who is going to disagree with this.
And he
take.
had time. It's not like he didn't have time. He had plenty of time. It's just some teams, for whatever reason, some coaches can develop quarterbacks, and some, I would say, organizations can, and some can't.
So do you think that's a Tom Clements thing?
Look at the offensive.
Should we be giving Tom Clements more credit for Malik Willis' success?
Yes. And I think LaFleur. LaFleur knows how to put his quarterbacks in positions to succeed. Look at offensive line. We worry a little bit every year, and then everything turns out fine, right? The offensive line this year has been fine.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
They are certainly good enough to win a Super Bowl. Where other teams, other organizations just have no clue. And that's not only coaching, that's scouting, that's looking at players that fit your system.
Yeah, but when you
makes a
have so
huge difference.
so much turnover, whether it's your offensive coordinator or your head coach, like it's tough probably to scout because there's just so much turnover. And we used to do this, now we do that, now we do this, and the Bears have had all that sort of inconsistency where the Packers. I mean, Mike McCarthy was here for a long time. It was probably easy. This is this is what we like. He knows how to get production out of this type of player. And now because Matt LaFleur has been here for 5 seasons, it's probably easy to we know that this type of player, LaFleur and his coaching staff can get this out of that.
It's just an organization, even though we don't agree with the silos at times. It's in the end, they find a way to make it work. Like, look at Dallas, right? Dallas is a train wreck. Jerry Jones can't look in the mirror and go, is any of this me? Is any of this me?
No, instead he threatened to fire a couple of radio hosts for asking him tough questions about his team underperforming.
It's always the head coach. It's always the head coach. He can't look in the mirror objectively and say, you know what, maybe I'm not very good at my job.
Okay, but sticking with the Packers for just a moment here, Chew. If Malik Willis is your starter next week because Jordan Love cannot go with the groin injury, what percentage chance, assuming the Packers play their best football around Malik Willis, what is the percentage chance they win that game against Detroit?
If he plays his best football with the game plan they give him?
Yeah.
Is that the question, Jen?
Yeah, best case scenario. I'm giving you best case.
50%.
50-50, he's saying.
50%.
Best case scenario, Packers play their best game with Malik Willis under center. He's giving them a 50% chance to beat the Lions.
That's pretty good. I thought it was going to be a lower number.
Is it?
I thought that was going to be a much
flip?
lower number. I'd take a coin
Why,
flip
did you think
right
it'd be
now.
higher?
Okay, here comes Johnny Rayclub. Tut-tut.
You guys have been railing on the Packers all morning long.
No, but he just said 50-50.
Yeah.
He said 50-50. I thought it would be way lower.
Yeah, I did. For Chewy?
What did you think? What do you think it is? Malik Willis plays his best. Packers played their best. Can they beat the Lions?
Can they? Sure. Will they? Probably not.
The line would imply there's about a 25% chance of winning.
Yeah, it's.
Based
I mean,
on what
really,
Vegas is telling us.
Mm-hmm. It's.
I don't know. The guy's playing
Lions
pretty
team,
confident right now.
To do what Malik has done, and I don't want to take away from it because being able to come in yesterday was fantastic. But there's a difference between Indianapolis, Tennessee, and Jacksonville, who are all really bad defenses. Like, that's the one thing all three of those teams that have in common. Detroit's defense is really good.
And
But hold on. The score was 52-14. Go to the box score and read it and tell me how they won 52-14. Okay? Because I've got total yards. Listen, total yards for Detroit yesterday. What do you think it was? 52-14. What do you think? What do you think the breakdown was? 10 offensive yards to Detroit's. Tennessee 416 yards total offense. Detroit 225. Mm-hmm. Yards passing for Detroit. Gabe, what do you think it was?
Well, so if they had 225 yards, my guess is they had like 150.
61.
Yeah. So,
see, I was like, oh my God, they're going to get their doors blown off. I'm like, how in the hell did they win this game?
Well, I mean, my guess, I haven't looked at it, Chew. I mean, my guess is there were like 4 or 5 turnovers.
Yeah.
Mason Rudolph threw 2 interceptions. I haven't looked to see if the Detroit Lions were able to take points or get points off of those. Chew, to your point, as I'm looking at the box score here, the game log, they also lost the time of possession, 35-24.
Yeah, they just kept scoring every time they touched the ball.
Well, 4 turnovers for...
Yeah.
And they were, I mean, you didn't have to go very long. Here are some of the touchdown drives. 2 plays, 23 yards. 3 plays, 25 yards. 4 plays, 12 yards.
Yeah. Now it's
7 plays, 22
clear.
yards.
They had a 9-yard punt return.
So what you're saying, Chew, is this would have been one of those box scores you would have looked at and would not have been able to nail the final score, right? Or would the 4 turnovers have tipped you off?
If you took the turnovers away, yeah. If you took the turnovers away, I would say Tennessee beat them 31-17. So this makes me feel better about the up-and-coming game. It really, and it should, because this was a smoke and mirrors game. The only thing I wish, if I could change anything about this game, is it was on the road.
You wish it had been on the road.
I wish this game against Detroit was at Detroit coming up.
Why? What home field advantage? They don't ever say road game advantage.
No, but the game, when they play them next, it's going to be much more impactful a game than this one will be. And I wish that one was at home.
What you're forgetting is Chewy's already waving the white flag on this game, so he doesn't care about it.
Quitter.
So he wishes that the game that he actually is going to care about would have been a home game. That's the Chewy translation.
That is a hell of a translation. Yeah.
Austin weighing in saying Lions had a lot of big special teams plays as well. When you think about that and you think about Green Bay's special teams, have you been optimistic? Have you been thrilled with what Green Bay has done from a special team standpoint this year?
They were fine yesterday.
I knew that's a game. It's fine. It was
yesterday.
Fine.
Fielded punts, didn't turn any balls over.
Wow.
Made the tackle short of the
you guys
30
have
on the
really
one kickoff
lowered
return.
your standards, haven't you?
Not I. But they weren't to detriment this time, and that's a good thing.
Yeah, really, you should look at special teams. We're not grading on an A through F scale. It's a pass fail.
No, so like Mondays, Chewy said, right?
Yeah, we're grading special teams on pass fail, and yesterday was a pass.
We're
They
grading
passed.
special teams on a curve. We're grading consistency on a curve. We're grading Mondays on a curve. Sort of starting to see how Chewy made it through Boston College, everybody.
I told you, D's get degrees.
With the local Milwaukee team, Fifth Third Bank knows what success looks like. They've been serving businesses and individuals in the area for nearly 15 years, including a long-standing commitment to the healthcare industry. From expansion to treasury management, Fifth Third offers a full suite of financial services and solutions across the healthcare spectrum to meet the complex moments you're navigating. Fifth Third Bank National Association. Custom solutions built around your goals. Member FDIC.
Never miss out on a second of the show. Find Jen, Gabe, and Chewy on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you get your podcasts with Wisconsin On Demand. Sponsored by Celsius Essential Energy Drink.
Some backups along eastbound 94, a couple of accidents. One at Hawley Road on the left shoulder, another one at 35th Street blocking the left lane, making for a nasty ride from before 84th Street all the way through to 35th. Westbound slowing down from 27th to Mitchell Boulevard and southbound 43. Still kind of heavy from about Silver Spring down to Capitol Drive. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast today, partly cloudy and breezy, a high of 66. Tonight, partly cloudy, isolated showers, mild with a little bit of wind, a low of 58. Weather is brought to you by Tsunami Express Car Wash, where you can expect nothing but the best unlimited wash memberships, state-of-the-art wash technology, and powerful free vacuums. Located in Oak Creek, Waukesha, and now Milwaukee. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazga on 94.5 ESPN.
Every so often in medicine, something comes along that is truly revolutionary.
Dr. Mitchell Scheinkup, former orthopedic surgeon, now National Medical Director at QC Kinetics.
I believe this is one of those things.
Dr. Scheinkup is talking about regenerative medicine, something he's practiced, researched, and written about for nearly 2 decades.
The old ways of dealing with joint pain, such as steroids and surgery, are no longer the best ways.
If you have pain from arthritis or injury, you owe it to yourself to learn more about this exciting option, using your own body's natural power to get lasting relief. And there's no better place to learn than QC Kinetics.
There is no one in this country today with more clinics, more satisfied patients, more advanced protocols, or more experience in using this exciting option to deliver life-changing results.
Call QC Kinetics now for your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. 414-285-3474.
This is Jeff Johnson.
And I'm Jason Johnson.
And together we're part of Johnson & Sons Paving.
Get your parking lot ready now for spring and avoid paying for extra repairs later on.
We'll come out to your property and walk it with you.
Potholes, damaged asphalt, damaged concrete, standing water, you name it. We'll talk to you about your options and fix it.
Plan a budget, set up an overall schedule with Johnson & Sons Paving.
It's all about doing it right the first time. Call us today to schedule a walkthrough and free estimate.
JohnsonandSonsPaving.com.
Woo! Hey, this is Ben Brust from Kyle Brust and Nortman on ESPN Wisconsin. People can't stop screaming about the Screamin' Sicilian frozen pizza, and no wonder. There's plenty to scream about, like the buttery stone-fired crust, secret recipe tomato sauce, mounds of whole milk mozzarella, and tons of premium toppings. Find Screamin' Sicilian in your local grocer's freezer and find out for yourself why Sporked called Screamin' Sicilian's Holy Pepperoni frozen pizza the best of the best. Screamin' Sicilian, taste what all the screamin' is about.
This time of year can be really tough on a number of areas in your home. If you're struggling with any electrical issues, the superheroes at Current Electric are ready to help you. Chuck Smith is a Brookfield Central grad who started Current Electric over 40 years ago. His mission was to serve our community with integrity and quality. Whether it's as small as a switch repair or as large as rewiring your entire home, to a generator to keep your lights on, or even interest in solar energy, call on the superheroes from Current Electric. Go to callcurrent.com. That's callcurrent.com.
It's Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Bubble is a dating app.
It's tuna.
I love tuna. I had some last night.
How do you eat your tuna?
Can we, for once, grow up on this show?
On 94.5 ESPN.
Football season is back, and I'm excited to be back on campus with Celsius Energy Drink, which fuels my active lifestyle with its game day energy. Drink Celsius like me and college stars Travis Hunter, Jalen Milroe, Dylan Gabriel, and others. Explore all 27 refreshing flavors. My favorite right now and always, it's the OG. It's the Peach Vibe. I branch out occasionally, but I still go back to the Peach Vibe. It's what got me through my drive to and from Bloomington twice this week. And I never ran out of gas again. Stay active and energized all game day long with Celsius by your side. Celsius, live fit.
McManus for the second straight week. A Green Bay Packers game-winning field goal.
Yeah, it is a good morning here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Thrilled about the victory, obviously, as Packers get the dub and improve to 6-2. But I can't help but feel like the highlight of many Packers fans' day yesterday came much, much later. On a clip we have seen over and over and over again on all of the morning shows, on your social feeds, and that is the Bears-Bearsing. The Bears-Bearsing, they were in a position to win that game against the Commanders last night, and the Bears-Bearsed. And that player, what is his name? I saw it. Tyreek Stevenson, who was taunting the Commanders fans on that final play, the Hail Mary play, and it is all over. Chewy, I don't know how you don't cut that guy. I don't know how he could walk into Hallis Hall today and then be like, yep, still on the team, made a mistake, it's fine. Like, I don't know that him taunting led to the Commanders winning that game, but it was just a really bad look in a moment where you could have helped your team preserve the victory. And you're telling me, no, it's okay, it happens, huh?
Well, it's not his fault. I mean, when you defend that play, because I've been a part of that play quite a bit, the defense is taught one guy is always in the front, one guy is always in the back, and then the rest of the guys are in the middle. Now, they're taught not to tip it up. They want to get their hands on the ball. You're taught to, pat the thing towards the ground. But unless he was the guy that was supposed to be deep, he kind of did what he was expected to do.
He was supposed to be attached to the guy who ended up catching it. He was lined up.
Well, then that's on him. Then he's a little.
He's also the one who tipped it up in the air.
Yeah. He did double bad.
No, I know. Yeah. So if he was the guy that's supposed to be deep, then that's on him. But I don't think it's cuttable. I mean, he's not a horrible player.
I mean, he's one of their starting corners. I don't think you can just cut a starting corner, especially when the defense has more strength of that team.
I don't mind trash. Trash talking's great. I don't have a problem with that at all. Matter of fact, some of the camera angles where they saw him screaming back and forth at one another, that's part of the game.
If he would have just waited a few seconds, he could have done that.
Okay, he could have done it for 20 minutes if you wanted to.
Yeah.
Do circles around the stadium if you want to. But yeah, it was just a really bad look, Gabe.
Yeah, no, the visuals on it are terrible. And I've ESPN this morning has had a clock on how long it took him after the ball was snapped.
Realize.
Yeah, it was like 4.5 seconds when he realized, I guess the ball snapped and the play is underway because he had been trash-talking the sideline up until that point.
Yeah,
Then he runs over, and to be the one, like if he was just in the scrum, and somebody else tipped it, it's probably like, okay, it's still a bad look. But to be the one who was jawing, and then you still get over there, but you're the one who tips it up in the air to allow him to catch it in the end zone.
When he should have been covering the guy who was in the end zone, right? Is what you're saying, Joshy? He should have been boxing him out, essentially.
Yeah, on those plays, because he is to that side, and that 85 who ended up catching it was the furthest one to that side. So that is his man. Obviously, when it gets to jump ball a little bit, things change, but you're not supposed to lose your guy in the scrum at any point. You're still attached to someone.
Wait, what if you lose him right at the snap? Then he wasn't your guy.
If you don't even know the ball snap,
if you don't know, how are you supposed to know who your guy is, Josh?
What made you? Was that the most?
I'm a certain partner.
When you felt because celebrating Aaron Rodgers losing to the Patriots also warmed my little cold dead heart.
I think that's the only thing that warms your heart at this point is Aaron Rodgers and the Jets playing like caca.
Yeah.
Will he retire? You think he'll retire?
I mean,
will he retire or will the Jets get rid of him? Because this experiment is
the Jets can't really get rid of him without paying a pretty steep price because of the way they've had to redo his contract a couple of different times.
Yeah.
I mean, at the very least, they got to get rid of his guy because the only thing I've seen about the Jets, I saw this morning on Twitter, and then he made his stop on Sportsmanlike. But Dan Orlovsky called the Jets offense gross. Like you said, it's just disgusting and painful to watch their film because it's just so unimaginative. It's stagnant. It's repulsive. Like just about every bad word you can think of is what they use to describe that offense.
How much can you blame Nathaniel Hackett for running the offense that Aaron Rodgers wants him to?
No, look, I mean, yeah, but you were brought in just to do that. So now you got to bring in somebody who's actually going to run a real NFL offense. And Rodgers, if you don't want to be a part of that, then you probably have to move on too, buddy.
Could he wind up in Minnesota?
No.
Why?
Because they've got J.J. McCarthy and they're invested in him.
Hasn't this proven that the whole Aaron Rodgers thing is like an abject failure and the culture he brings is not the one you would want?
Correct.
So like,
yes.
Like the to his legacy, Aaron Rodgers has done damage. People, this is going to be the lasting memory of that man. As great as he was,
but do you think
failing this way, this catastrophically, is going to last a long time?
You're telling me that the Jets losing yesterday was better than the way that the Bears lost yesterday? I was at a Halloween party last night because it was trick-or-treating in our neighborhood. And so it's on in the kitchen. We're all watching the game, kind of half, out of the corner of our eye type of thing. But you see that it's coming down to the wire, and you see that there's a Hail Mary opportunity, and we had all seen how Jaden Daniels had been playing. The collective sound that came out of that house, on the northern side of Milwaukee when the Bears lost that game, I can't describe it, but it was like something that I'll never forget. The joy and the disbelief and the how did that just happen? But it is also the greatest thing that has happened to me today.
Which was great if you chose that, but that's just one moment. Josh had like 3 hours of Aaron Rodgers ineptitude that he could just bask in.
Yeah.
You're just sunbathing in their failure.
On Aaron Rodgers' bad thoughts. I was just every little sourpuss face he makes, like he just chewed on a lemon. Oh,
are you high? Yes. On what? The Jets sucking.
Like, I mean, don't get me wrong. The one moment of the Bears losing, euphoric, and probably larger than any one moment that Josh felt yesterday. But it's just, I think it's the entire
collective.
Game.
It's
yes, it's the adding up of the entire 3 hours of them being terrible.
Well, let's put that on the Jen, Gabe, and Chewy Twitter poll this morning, shall we? What was more enjoyable? Well, just what did you enjoy more? What did you get more of a high out of yesterday? The Bears losing in dramatic fashion, epic fashion, or the Jets continuing to underperform and stink it up? Rob in Michigan weighing in on the ESPN Milwaukee talk and text line. He says, Packers win with Willis again, check. Bears lose in embarrassing fashion, check. Jets are a dumpster fire, check. What a fantastic Monday to be a Packers fan. 800-990-3776. Keep getting us your reaction this morning to the Packers victory and any of the other details surrounding the game you might want to share with us. We've got Rob Demovsky coming up next on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. We will ask him all of the things as well.
It is Victory Monday, and it's brought to you by Palermo's Pizza, Wisconsin's hometown pizza. Pizza winning, they go together. And with delicious brands like Palermo's, Connie's, Urban Pie, and Screamin' Sicilian, Palermo's has your game day or any other day covered. Find Palermo's in your local grocer's freezer.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy continues next on 94.5 ESPN.
We've got delays because of a couple of accidents on 94 eastbound. First of all, at Hawley Road. It's off on the left shoulder. And then we've got another one at 35th Street that is actually blocking the left lane, making for a nasty ride from 92nd Street all the way through to 35th. On westbound 94, just tightening up through the stadium interchange. And then on southbound 43, still heavy from Silver Spring all the way down to about Capitol Drive. Traffic is brought to you by Fisco Auto Body. Call Fisco Auto Body to help with all body repair needs. Fisco, Fisco, Fisco. And check the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast today. Partly cloudy and breezy, a high of 66. Tonight, partly cloudy, isolated showers, very mild, windy with a low of 58. Weather is brought to you by National Liquor Mart at 16th and National in Milwaukee. Packed with the best beer, liquor, seltzer, and spirit deals in town. Open 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. daily, where your satisfaction is their plan of action. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Here's what Tammy Baldwin thinks about President Trump and you.
Donald Trump might be one of the most offensive and hateful and unacceptable presidential candidates we've ever had. So what does that say about the people who support him?
Tammy Baldwin is a liberal snob. Voter out.
I'm Eric Hovde, candidate for U.S. Senate, and I approve this message. Join my team and give today.
Visit WisconsinVictoryJFC.com to give today. Paid for by Wisconsin Victory Committee.
Hey you! Daydreaming about that perfect house again? Hi, it's John Reeds from Great Midwest Bank. And whether your dream includes buying or building or renovating your current home, I'm happy to report that mortgage rates are finally starting to turn around. So make those dreams a reality with a custom-fit Great Midwest Bank mortgage product. We've been serving Southeast Wisconsin homeowners for nearly 90 years. Find a local experienced loan officer at greatmidwestbank.com. We can't wait to get started. Great Midwest Bank, your simply local equal housing lender.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $200-$300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code BUY to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code BUY for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code BUY for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
We need a new intro for this year, though.
All right, we'll work on it.
Consider it done, Rob.
ESPN's #1 source for green and gold information.
Look, I would suspect that we don't see Malik Willis throw the ball down the field a whole lot, especially early, but it would not surprise me if we got back to more of the quick West Coast stuff.
Our most musically inclined and bald guest.
I was overly harsh about Gabe's golf game because I played terrible yesterday.
It's funny.
It's Rob Demovsky.
This better be a great segment.
On Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Hard-hitting intellectual insight on the Green Bay Packers, which we know we cannot provide. We go to Rob Demovsky. Good morning, Rob. How are you doing today?
Well, it's a beautiful day in Jacksonville, but I can't wait to get out of here.
Okay. All right. How should fans look at yesterday's win? Again, we're trying to separate, we're trying to split the pie a little bit here. On one hand, great that they got the win. The moves that Brian Gutekunst has made over the last year or so are paying off. McManus splits the uprights again yesterday for a game-winning field goal. And yet, the cloud that is hanging over, I think today and potentially some of this week, is the injury to Jordan Love. And you would like for your team to be able to go full strength when they face the top team in the division next week in the Lions.
Yeah, clearly, Jen, they're not going to be at full strength. And that's even if Jordan Love plays. I mean, they had a couple injuries coming out of the game. Evan Williams was ruled out pretty quickly with a hamstring. We all know how important he's been. Jair Alexander got hurt, I think, on one of the last plays of the game, or really late in the game, and we didn't get a chance to talk to him, so that's something that definitely needs to be followed up on today. The interesting thing is, though, even if they have all those guys, or most of the guys, or just Jordan Love, who's the most important guy probably, I got a sense in the locker room yesterday from some of the offensive guys that they feel like they did not perform very well on offense the last couple of weeks. And we can go back, to the Houston game where they had 5 3-and-outs and 2 turnovers. There were some times in the game yesterday where they weren't very effective. Tucker Kraft and Elton Jenkins, I talked to both those guys after the game, and they both, if you wouldn't have known what the outcome of the game was, you might have thought that they would have lost the game. Now, after the end of it, I finally asked Tucker Kraft after kind of the group dispersed. I said, "What do you really think about this team?" And he said, "Look, maybe I was a little harsh. I do want to say that I think that we're playing well." This was interesting though. He said, the losing teams always say we're the best 2-6 football team in the league. He said, but I think we're the best 6-2 football team in the league.
He said that? Tucker Kraft said
I think we're the best 6-2 football team in the league.
Wow. That's
I don't know how many.
bold,
I don't know how many
but
other teams are 6-2. Chewy, I guess I haven't looked at the standings, but I think he's just trying to say that I know we painted it out to be kind of an ugly game on offense, but in the end, we are 6-2 and in a pretty good spot.
With that being said, Rob, how would you rank the NFC North top to bottom?
I mean, after the 52 burger that the Lions put up yesterday, I mean, I'm sort of watching the score of that game as the Packers were sort of scuffling along, and it was like 20-17, and I kept thinking to myself, how in the world are the Packers going to keep up with these guys next week? Now, the Packers ended up putting up 30, and if you say, I'll give you 30 points on Sunday for the Packers, would you take that? I don't know. Is 30 enough to win next Sunday? Maybe, but I still think that the Lions are the class of it right now. But I think the Packers are probably 1B, especially considering Minnesota's on a little bit of a slide after their bye, and we all know what happened to Chicago. I'm sure you guys have talked about that at length this morning. So I do think the Packers are in a good spot. I do think they have a deep roster. And I do think they've shown they can win games in a variety of ways with a variety of different people.
Rob, why do you think they have gotten off to these slow starts? I know that was one of the things Tucker Kraft had talked about, and it seems like the only time they've gotten off to fast starts, it's been when Malik Willis started.
Yeah, that's a great point. I think they haven't found their rhythm in terms of the run pass, mix. This offense, Matt LaFleur's offense, is predicated on the play action stuff. Well, if you're not running the ball great early, it's hard to set that stuff up. Now, in the end, Josh Jacobs had great numbers yesterday. A lot of it, though, he got on his own. There was a lot. I think he averaged 3 yards after contact. I tweeted out this morning his highest of the season. And, I mean, he got, take the 38-yard touchdown run. Most of that was his own. That was all yards after contact. I just think that as a blocking unit, they need to get this thing a little bit, more solidified, and maybe that slow starts will, I think maybe they'll start a little faster.
Rob Demovsky hanging out with Jen, Gabe, and Chewy this morning on 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee. Do you think that Brian Gutekunst is getting the credit he deserves for putting all of these pieces together? I think Malik Willis, we were talking, who's been the most impactful. You could really make an argument for any of those guys. Xavier McKinney, Josh Jacobs, obviously McManus winning these last few games. Do you think that people are recognizing? And the question I asked the guys this morning, Rob, was, if he chooses to make a move or chooses not to make a move at the trade deadline to bolster the defense, do you give him the benefit of the doubt for all the success he has had over the last 365 days?
Jen, you must get the ESPN NFL Nation emails, because our assignment for the power rankings this week is the most impactful offseason addition that your team has made. And I'm having a hard time deciding between all those guys you mentioned. Ultimately, I think I'm going with Xavier McKinney, because he's totally transformed the mentality on defense and the takeaways. But I think, look, I mean, who's giving Gutekunst credit? I don't know. The national media never really talks about, the Packers front office guys. Look, I mean, none of those guys in the Packers front office have gotten interviews for GM jobs over the last couple of years. And you've got some qualified guys there in John Eric Sullivan, John Wojciechowski, Matt Malaspina. Milt Hendrickson. I'm sure I'm forgetting some of his top lieutenants, but it's amazing to me that nobody from the this GM and personnel department has really gotten any credit nationally. As far as the trade deadline goes, look, I mean, there's always a stunner, right? Him trading away Rasul Douglas was a stunner. Obviously, I don't think he's going to do anything, like that. I just think it's really going to be hard to add to this team. And my guess is that Brian Gutekunst thinks that they have enough, and that he has done enough, because he's done more than usual. And, unless there's a catastrophic injury in the next week, and maybe the Jair Alexander injury is bad, I don't know. I would be surprised if there's a move made. And I think that's fine. I think he's done everything that you could ask for a general manager to put his team in position with a deep, young, talented roster to make a run.
Rob, how was Josh Jacobs' ankle? I saw him hobbling around after the game, because if Malik Willis is going to play, they got to ride Jacobs again if they have any chance of winning.
Yeah, he definitely hobbled off, didn't finish the game. They went with Chris Brooks, who, by the way, should get a tip of the cap for the way he finished the game at the end. And smart play. Kid's never scored a touchdown, I don't think, in the NFL. At least he hasn't here, and certainly made the smart play by going down before the goal line. Jacobs didn't look overly serious, but anytime you have a leg injury for a running back, there's reason for concern. I think we'll have a better feel for that when we hear from Matt LaFleur later today. But you're absolutely right. I mean, if you're going to have to go with Malik Willis, you better have a fully loaded run game.
Rob, kind of going back to the Packers may or may not make a move before next week's trade deadline. Is part of that because the biggest weakness of this team is the front four, and it's just so hard to add guys from other teams at that position? Because to me, that was the reason that the Jacksonville Jaguars got back in the game yesterday, is because they cannot generate a traditional four-man pass rush with that front four.
Yeah, would they have one sack yesterday, I think? I think you're 100% right. And, teams just don't give up great pass rushers. I mean, they just don't. You saw, Mark Davis, the Raiders owner, say we're not trading Max Crosby now or ever. He said we're not trading him now or trading him after the deadline. Well, you can't trade him after the deadline, so I'm not sure if he knows exactly how the league works. But no, I mean, there's just not. Even the Browns, right? Are they going to trade their guy? I'd be surprised. This isn't like, it's not like baseball in the NBA where you just you clean house. You have to keep building in this league, and pass rushers are a premium, right? I mean, it's quarterback, cornerback, left tackle, pass rusher, right? Those are the premier positions, and I think it'd be really hard. The other thing, too, is they don't have I think they only have their own picks in the first 6 rounds, right? They don't. It's not like the years past where they've got extra 2s, extra 3s. They gave up the 7th for Willis, or did they get one back in there too? Maybe they got back something, but it's not like they're loaded with those Jets picks that they had and other picks. The Rasul Douglas pick from Buffalo. So, and you know how much Goody loves those picks.
Any chance they trade anyone away? Any chance they I don't know. I've seen talk about Eric Stokes potentially. Preston Smith's name has been out there. Are you getting any vibe that they might make those? Yep, that's the other one.
Yeah, Andre Dillard, who hasn't, I don't think he's played a snap yet on offense here. Was sort of an insurance signing for the swing tackle position. I honestly, I think it would be someone like that, a guy, who hasn't played, not somebody like Preston, who's played a ton of snaps. Although, I mean, certainly, there's where there's smoke, there's fire, and you've heard his name mentioned. But I mean, if you're not going to add a pass rusher, I don't see how trading away Preston helps you.
Were you surprised at the Bill Barnwell write-up on Josh Jacobs last week? I respect the hell out of Bill, obviously, as one of our colleagues, but it did feel a little disconnected from the value that Jacobs has brought, not just on the field, but to that locker room.
I think a couple things there, Jen. I think the headline didn't really match the story. There was a ESPN alert that said Packers not getting what they had expected out of Josh Jacobs. And if you read the story, that's not what the story said.
I'll tell you what, though, it got me to click on it. I'll tell you what, that thing flashed on my phone, and I was like, what the what? Click.
And that is not, that's not what Barnwell, I read it, and I saw the headline. I thought, does Bill Barnwell have a source in the building who says they're disappointed with Josh Jacobs? And really, it was Bill Barnwell's disappointed with Josh Jacobs, not that the Packers are disappointed with Josh Jacobs. So
and he was disappointed with Josh Jacobs because he's not Derrick Henry or Saquon Barkley.
Yeah.
Okay. If that's the standard, yes, I guess you can be disappointed. The guy's 4th in the league in rushing.
Yeah, I was going to say 4th in the league in rushing. And to me, the biggest thing about Josh Jacobs, and Chewy mentioned the injury, but to this point, he hasn't missed a game. Like they made the change from Aaron Jones because they thought Aaron Jones probably was not going to be able to play a whole season. And guess what? Aaron Jones has already missed the game, and Josh Jacobs has not to this point. So I think that's, it's not just the production, and the production is there. It's the reliability. The only thing that disappointed me, I guess, a little bit yesterday in the run game and in Jacobs, and maybe this is to the point that Tucker Kraft and Elton Jenkins were talking about, is that late in the game, that series where they could have put the game away, They ran twice, and Jacobs really didn't get a whole lot, and then they had to throw on third down and kick it away. So, that's that old 4-minute offense where you're trying to salt the game away. That's about, to me, the only thing that was missing from Josh Jacobs yesterday.
Well, to be fair, I also am disappointed that I'm not working with Chris Mad Dog Russo and Howard Stern over here. So I just wanted to put that out there. Gabe has been underwhelming when compared to Howard Stern and Chris Mad Dog Russo.
Rob, is Aaron Rodgers done? Will he retire, or will we go somewhere else?
I want to know what happens when, and it's no longer an if, it's when the Jets finish with like 5 or 6 wins. What happens? He is too proud to go out this way, don't you think, Chewy? And they're gonna clean house in New York, and maybe there's a team, and I would have to go through and think about who it is that would trade
Minnesota?
for him. I knew you were going to say that. So they got J.J. McCarthy waiting in the wings, and Sam Darnold's been pretty good. So. No, I don't know. Was it like a Tennessee maybe that's desperate for? But would he want to go to a place like that?
I wouldn't think.
I struggle with the idea that he would go out this way, but I also can't comprehend any scenario in which he wants to come back to the Jets.
All right, Rob Demovsky.
What did I?
I can't.
I'm a certain partner.
It's not you, Rob. It's the absurdity of the entire situation, I think, is what. No scenario where he wants to go back, and yet nobody wants him.
I just want maximum amount. I want maximum amount of drama. So wherever there's the most drama, that's where I want him to go.
Right now.
Yeah.
Rob, we appreciate you hanging out with us. Have a great one. We'll talk to you again soon.
All right, see you next week.
All right, he's Rob Demovsky. You can, of course, follow him on socials, and you can read his stuff on ESPN.com. I got you covered. Your home, your future is our priority. Your home is more than just a house. It is your future. Great Midwest Bank prioritizes your dream, ensuring the mortgage process is smooth and stress-free. How many elements of buying a new home can you say that about? There's lots of stressors when you buy a home, but the mortgage should not be one of them. Apply for your home mortgage loan at Great Midwest Bank. You'll experience a state of banquility when you see how easy the process is. Guys, we used Great Midwest Bank when we bought our house, and they were fantastic to work with. If you go to their website, visit greatmidwestbank.com, they will show you what products they have for you.
More Jen, Gabe, and Chewy coming up on 94.5 ESPN.
Blaine's Farm and Fleet's Fall Workwear event is going on now. We've got unbeatable deals on quality boots and apparel to help your hard-earned dollars go further. Like all Wolverine work boots, 20% off. Shop new fall styles of men's and women's Ariat workwear and accessories in-store now. Get $30 in Carhartt bucks for every $125 you spend on Carhartt gear. See store for details. Plus, shop unbeatable toy deals in Blaine's Farm and Fleet's Toyland. Now open.
Find value at Blaine's Farm and Fleet. Hey ESPN Wisconsin fans, Brad Nortman here. Whether you're an athlete like me or just want to feel your best, Quintessa's new wellness center in Brookfield is your go-to for peak performance. With services like hormone therapy, IV drip therapy, medical weight loss, and anti-aging, Quintessa has everything to keep your body running at its best. It's not just about game day, it's about every day. Check out myquintessa.com/wellness and see how Quintessa can help you stay at the top of your game. Your body deserves it.
Choosing the right candidates for any office can be difficult.
My office has lots of drama.
My office has its ups and downs.
I share my office. But no matter what kind of office you have, one thing's for certain. If you're hiring, you need ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter's powerful matching technology finds the most qualified candidates for your roles fast, and you can invite your top choices to apply. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. So, for any kind of office.
I'm really going places in my office.
My office has everything you could ever want.
Count on ZipRecruiter to find the right candidates for it. Try ZipRecruiter for free today at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Hey
Pet parents, with Progressive's collision coverage, you get extra protection for your cat or dog, because there's nothing worse than seeing your pet hurt. Like when you see their face after accidentally stepping on their tail, and you say, "I'm so sorry, Mr. Pickles." But as you kiss his nose and rub his little belly welly, you know Mr. Pickles is thinking, "You betrayed me." Anywho, Progressive pays up to $1,000 in vet bills if your pet is injured in an auto accident. Learn more at Progressive.com and watch where you step. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Collision coverage subject to policy terms. Not available in all states.
Attention football fans, the season's heating up, and that means it's time for jaw-dropping plays, spectacular touchdowns, and memories that'll last a lifetime. So if you're looking to grab the best seats for all the excitement, Vivid Seats is your go-to playmaker. With an incredible selection of tickets and a game-changing rewards program, Vivid Seats is your ticket to every thrilling moment. Don't miss out. Experience it live with Vivid Seats, the official ticketing partner of ESPN.
It's bird bashing season when you swoop into Potawatomi. Thursdays, you could win up to a wicked 50 grand cash in the Bird Bash Game Show. Just play with your rewards card all October for entries. All Bird Bash entries go towards a December 20th giveaway with a monstrous 300 grand in prizes. Bird Bash makes its bewitching return. Only at Potawatomi Casino Hotel, Milwaukee. Learn more at paysbig.com/birdbash. Must be 21 years old to play.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Look, you take Jesus and the presents out, and it's not even in the top 10.
Well, I mean, yeah. If you take sex out of the anniversary, then that's not that fun either.
On 94.5 ESPN.
Here we go.
Accutrans is a veteran-owned business dedicated to providing unmatched corporate, personal, and event-related transportation that you will use again and again. That's my friends over at Accutrans. They have professional drivers, reliable pickups, global service. Heck, I'm probably going to use Accutrans this weekend to pick me up from the airport because I can't get to Penn State except for going through O'Hare. So you know what? I'm going to use Accutrans and their variety of transportation and hospitality services for conventions and events of any size. Airport transportations, ding. Hotel shuttles, ding. Individual transfers, ding. Make a reservation, get a quote at AccuTransGroup.com. That is AccuTransGroup.com.
Thank you all for coming. I hope you like the show because it's on a budget.
Ding! What do we got? Will just going board crazy back there? We're just dinging it up?
Here we go.
We've got a lot of limbs reaching over, and he elbowed the mouse, which was on the ding.
So it just started ding, ding, ding. Yeah. It's fun. There are worse sounds to play over and over again. You know, like Chewy was right. Woo-hoo, stay away from that one.
I'm a certain partner.
We put a lot of stuff on the polls this morning, but I think the most interesting one is what would the 6-2 Packers record be without Malik Willis, Brandon McManus, Xavier McKinney, and Josh Jacobs? Gabe, you said 3 wins?
Yeah, 2-3 wins, something like that.
Chew, what do you think? 2 wins?
4-4.
4-4?
Well, you got to add players. You can't just not go with a running back, or it's not 8 on 11s. They're going to replace them with somebody.
Brandon McManus is not out there on offense or defense. Like, yes, I know what you're saying, 8 on 11, but yes, there would be other guys, but would they be as good, as productive as the guys that Goody has added?
No, of course not. But like those kicks yesterday and the week before, I mean, he's making yesterday's kick. Or he's not making it out of the stadium alive. I mean, that was an extra point, so there's a win.
We're assassinating.
Now we're taking lives? We're not just cutting him from the roster now?
That guy on the Bears team, R.I.P., huh?
Yeah. So, 4-4, 3 and whatever, 3 in the math.
As a Packers fan, what did you enjoy more yesterday? The Bears fail Mary or Rodgers losing to the Patriots? What do you think, Gabe?
It's this whole Aaron Rodgers situation still for me. After talking with Rob, like, I was just doing the exercise in my head, like going through teams. Like, if the Jets truly clean house, I'm with Rob. Like, you're looking at every quarterback situation across the league. I don't know anybody who would sign up to take Aaron Rodgers right now, which is insane. I can't believe we're there.
Not what he's getting paid. Yeah.
A 4-time NFL MVP, a Super Bowl champion, a guy that when they debate, is he going to go in the Hall of Fame, whoever's going to present him to the board is going to stand up and go, he's Aaron Rodgers, sit down. Nobody's going to want that guy. Nobody.
And he's not going to go to a bad team.
No.
Right?
No.
I mean, he's not going to go to the Raiders or Someone along those lines.
Well, I mean, if Devontae was still with the Raiders, maybe you would have gone to the Raiders, but he got Devontae with them out in New York.
The poll, I was sorry. I got in this head. I was in this space. I was daydreaming about all of these things that you guys were talking about, and I forgot that we were going to check the poll. 67% of people said the Bears' Fail Mary was more satisfying yesterday than Rodgers losing to the Patriots. Maybe it's because the Rodgers losing to the Patriots thing has sort of been building. You've been enjoying it little by little, but at the end of yesterday's game, again, the collective gasp / scream / euphoric release that the people that I was with yesterday, I was like, that would have showed up on the Richter scale. That would have showed up. You know where you see those pops when they show a map of like celebrations or whatever? That would have showed up in Wisconsin, what happened yesterday in the Bears-Commanders game. 67% of people saying it was the Bears' Fail Mary.
Joshy, if I read this to you, scored 20-plus points, didn't turn over, allowed fewer than 250 yards. In NFL history, teams 750-1, including playoffs, when generating that box score. The only loss was yesterday in the New York Jets. Does that bring you joy?
I am feeling warm and tingly inside. Greeny's on Get Up saying this is like the biggest failure in modern sports. Oh, I just want to bathe in all the Jets fans. And just the Aaron Rodgers Schadenfreude, it is the best.
Fritz weighing in saying, if Love can't go this week, have the Packers used up the number of times they can call up Clifford from the practice squad? I think, Fritz, we've determined that Willis is better.
He'll be a
backup. Yes, but that's a good question. I guess we'll see how many times you can do it. But what Malik Willis has done for this Green Bay Packers team has been nothing short of incredible. And we are thrilled that Brian Gutekunst made that move to get him on this team for this very situation. Still nervous, still uneasy, still uncomfortable about the Packers taking on the Lions, but I suppose that is a problem for another day. Wilde and Tausch is next on ESPN Milwaukee. Have a great one, everybody.
We do have an accident on 94 northbound, right about just past Highway G.